Yes, indeed.
And how long you been doing that?
I've been doing it for about 3 years now, and I've always been at FU. Yep.
How fun is that?
It's crazy. It's insane.
So, Amanda, tell us, please, how does one get started as a tattoo artist?
I always was really into art, and I was really into being cool, and I thought I was super punk rock growing up. And so I'd ditch class and go hang out in tattoo shops, and I got a job working as the front desk person at FU right after I graduated high school, and I worked really hard, and I got my feelings hurt a lot, and I drew a whole bunch, and I got an apprenticeship, and then eventually got okay enough to start making tattoos.
And so, Amanda, did you go to school here in Santa Cruz?
I grew up in the mountains, like
in the valley?
Up on Summit. Up on Summit, and I went to high school over the hill. But I spent all my time over here.
With a lot of cougars up there, huh?
Yeah, a lot of those. Saw a bobcat yesterday.
Did you?
Cool.
Oh, they're so beautiful.
They're so cute.
All right, so Amanda, you trained, apprenticed at FU Tattoos. Mm-hmm. What was it like that first time that you penetrated somebody's skin with ink permanently?
It was terrifying.
I would guess that.
Yeah. Because I don't know, I know a lot of people who in the course of their apprenticeships, like, okay, you have a set date that you're going to, this is your first day that you're going to work on somebody. Like, get a friend and bring him in. The guy who taught me, Hudge, who's in the art show, he had a bunch of friends come in from out of town one weekend. It's like, all right, you're tattooing these guys this weekend. And
it's terrifying.
I don't know. Okay. And then it was a rough weekend. There's a lot of tears. A lot of
tears.
Yeah.
Your tears, their tears.
Mostly mine. Like, gotta take a break and go in the bathroom because I'm so stressed out right now, and cry a little bit, then put your game face back on. Yeah.
That sounds like a professional.
Yeah.
And so, Amanda, I couldn't help but feel myself. I'd be a little shaky.
Yeah.
And that's not what you want, right?
No, that's a hard one. I always do the joke from Blazing Saddles where he has one solid hand and one shaky hand. It's like, yeah, but I shoot with this one, the shaky one. So, yeah.
Luckily, we're videotaping that so people can see you shaking your hand.
Yeah, it's a tough one. You're trying to not let your body betray you. It's really hard.
And so what was the first tattoo?
The first one, it was a really old piece of flash, and it's a little skull pilot with wings and goggles and a flight helmet on. Like, super simple, really small.
Was it colored?
Yeah, it was colored, just basic, like 2 colors, I think, and black, so... It looks good, though. I saw it recently.
And now, like, 3 years later.
3 years later, it's still chugging along.
What's one of your favorite tattoos?
To do or that I've done?
Is that a trick question?
I don't know.
So let's see. What's been your favorite tattoo to do?
To do. I'm currently working on... It's almost a full back piece on this girl who recently moved to the area from Seattle, and it is basically like a unicorn back piece. It's like a whole bunch of different unicorns and hearts and clouds and butterflies. It is so ridiculous. It's amazing.
Wow. And it's across the full back.
Yeah.
And so how long does something like that take? I mean,
with her, we're slowly piecing stuff together, but we're like 4 weeks into it now, like 4 different sittings, and we probably worked on her at least 2 hours every time.
Wow.
Tattoos take a really long time. Yeah. Evie knows.
And so, Evie, are you also a tattoo artist?
No, I'm not. I'm actually
an enthusiast.
I'm an enthusiast, a hobbyist, if you will. But I've been tattooed by Amanda a few times. Actually, a couple weeks ago, she gave me a new one, and then one of the other artists in the shop, Hudge, has done my arm, which has been a 3-4 year project.
Wow. And so, Evie, you also have pieces in the show?
No, I don't. I was getting tattooed by Hudge earlier, a few months ago, and he told me that he was going to do the show and basically had no idea how to promote it. And that's what I do for a living. I work for a local Santa Cruz PR firm, and so kind of taking my skills to show off their skills.
And what's the name of your PR firm?
It's called 43 PR. But for this show, I kind of started a fake PR company under my own name called Carter Inked.
Carter Inked.
Well done. I didn't even know that. Look at you. Crafty lady.
So, Evie, tell me about the different artists.
Well, I definitely can talk about Amanda and Hudge because I know them best, and then I probably could let Amanda talk about the rest. But, the kind of tattoos I've gotten from them are really different. Hudge has done a lot of 4-color traditional pieces on me, but I've seen that he's done a lot of animal portraits on some of my friends as well. Amanda and I, those are always my favorite appointments just because we get to totally girl out, which I don't think happens too much in the shop.
No.
But I've gotten cute like stars and my cat name and my cat paws and recently some cherry blossoms. But I'll let you kind of go into the more artsy stuff on the show.
Well, let's talk about Derek Pratt.
Derek is my sweet baby brother. He is our shop manager, so he takes care of all of our day-to-day in the shop. He makes sure that we can, do what we do best. He has done a lot of rock and roll art for for shows around town like Blue Lagoon and Great Place, and I think he's done 1 or 2 for the Rio. He does a lot of cool rock and roll art, very graphic.
You mean posters?
Yes. Yep.
So concert posters.
Yeah.
Which is a great tradition.
Yeah.
And so Derek's going to be showing his work?
Yeah, he'll be in there too.
Mostly drawings?
They're smaller paintings, like liquid acrylic.
Liquid acrylic.
Yeah.
Great. And then we got Nick Vargas.
Mr. Nick Vargas. He's our artsy person. He does mostly like acrylic and gouache paintings, pretty large scale, very folk art oriented. Really interesting stuff. A lot of like weird characters and bugs and stuff like that. They're really great. He's awesome.
Folk art, you mean like naive painting or?
Let's see. I guess that was kind of a general term. Folk art, a lot more flat, I guess. I guess American traditional folk art is always really interesting because it has usually a large landscape and then small figures and a lot of interesting things going on. Right. His stuff is really similar to that.
And so, do you know if Nick has studied art or?
Nick is the only one of us who actually went to college. He went to Pratt in New York for about a year, so he's got the most book learning out of all of us. He was a sign painter for a while, an assistant sign painter, and he did graffiti also.
And so he's also a tattoo artist?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. And then we got Ron Hendricks.
Oh, sweet baby Ron. He is our most traditional tattooer, and his art, and I'm not totally sure what he's doing. Last thing I saw was really abstract and really interesting, and a big step for him as far as changing from what he tattoos, which is really interesting. He's just interesting. He's great.
All right, so you guys having a big party, along with all this great art. The opening night for the party, for the exhibition as well, is January 6th.
Yep.
And it's at 7 p.m. Mm-hmm. And again, it's at the Felix Kulpa Gallery. That's at 107 Elm Street, or you might know right behind Streetlight Records on Pacific Avenue. Felix Kulpa Gallery has consistently had amazing exhibitions over the years, and I love the work. Just the permanent sculptures that are in front of the Felix Kulpa Gallery. So the name of the show is The Meeting of the Minds.
Yep.
And you're gonna have some music.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be the music?
Rock and Roll Vato is going to be our DJ for the evening. He's a good friend of the shop. He might work at Streetlight. He might be someone you know. Who knows?
Who knows?
That's so Santa Cruzian to say.
And so, what kind of music is a DJ Rock and Roll Vato gonna be playing? Like, I'm feeling a little punk. I'm feeling a little country. What do you got going?
Probably, we're all pulling for like mid-70s rock and roll. You know, just good time music, stuff that'll make you happy. Want to stay and drink another beer, look at some more art. Yeah, we like to have a good time, you know, something that's going to reflect that. That's what we're hoping for.
So you've got small paintings, larger paintings, drawings. What's Hudge?
Yeah.
What's Hudge doing?
He is, he's just going crazy. It's insane what he's working on. I think his biggest one that he has, if it's going in the show, which I think it is like 4 feet by 8 feet long. So it's huge. He's been building and stretching these canvases by himself. In his house, he's gone all Renaissance man on it. And they're these really vibrant, really interesting, large-scale acrylic pieces with really... with a lot of emphasis on line work and color. I don't even know how to describe it. Like, if I was like a 14-year-old boy who's really into metal and I drew things, but I was really good at it, that's what they'd look like.
So they're abstract.
Yeah.
Wow. That sounds really interesting. And then, Amanda, what about your work?
I wanted to do something a little bit different from what I normally do. I've been working on these bigger charcoal drawings, mostly of women, naked ladies.
Woohoo!
If you will. I know, right?
I love it. What else is there to paint?
Sexy there, right?
A tree? I don't think so.
No way. Why paint a tree when you can paint
a naked
boobs,
woman? Exactly.
Right?
That's what I think.
Yeah. So they're not as big as Hudge, not his huge 8x4s, but they're. I think the biggest one I have is like 40 by 20 or something like
40 inches by 20
yeah.
inches.
They're good size.
And so, are these a collection that you've been developing over how many years?
These are just for this specific art show. So I've been working on it for a few months now. We've known about the art show for not 6 months, for a year. I might have slacked off for the first couple months of the year, but yeah.
The muse got you.
Yeah.
And so, do you work from a live model?
A lot of the poses I actually were inspired from like 70s nudie magazines. And so I used them for reference, and then I would take them home and then try to recreate them and so I would have something that I could go off of, like change the lighting and stuff like that. So
I know when I studied painting and I would do women nudies, and sometimes I wouldn't be...
It's a technical term.
Exactly. And sometimes I'd, run out of my friends who would, like, take their clothes off.
Yeah.
So, excuse me. I'm spraying in the studio station here. And,
it's usually me
just
doing
thinking
that.
about it. It's making me... spit here.
I know, getting all excited. Juices are flowing. Talk about naked ladies.
Woohoo! And so I would try to use, this was back in the 80s, I would try to use whatever naked pictures I would, find. Yeah. And they always turned out doll-like. Like, they didn't look real. You must be doing some process in between going directly from the nudie picture,
what I do is I have the photo for reference, and then I do a drawing off of it. So I do my own drawing from it, and then when I transfer it over, this is going to sound kind of weird, but I'll often like recreate it at the house myself, and so I can see exactly what it would look like.
So when you say recreate it, you would assume the pose.
Yeah.
And then kind of bring the two together, yourself and your rendered drawing of the picture, because I remember the first time I tried doing it, it was terrible.
It's hard.
It is when you don't have a live model to give it that life.
And I think when you look at them all together, there's a big change from like the one that I did 6 months ago to the one that I finished today, so I think there's a big progression in them, and you'll be able to see it. I don't want to sound arrogant and be like, I just paint myself naked all day, but that's
why not?
What I fear it sounds like. So
you are listening to Amanda Payne.
That's Payne.
Payne. I'm sorry, I'm reading your writing here.
You're just getting excited. It's okay.
Amanda Payne, and this is Artist on Art, and you are listening to KZSC Santa Cruz. And I also have in the studio Evie Carter. Like the Carter family that I'd just been playing.
Right.
Yeah.
Evie Carter, how long is this show going to be up for?
I think it's a month. So if you don't get a chance to come to the awesome party, you should definitely stop by the gallery and check out the pieces.
Yeah.
And that's at the Felix Kulpa Gallery at 107 Elm Street. The opening for this exhibition is Friday, January 6th at 7 p.m. There's going to be a rockin' good time, and there's going to be music by Rock and Roll Vato. And then there'll be artworks by 5 artists, all local artists: Derek Pratt, Nick Vargas, Ron Hendricks, Hudge.
Yep,
Hudge, and Amanda Payne. Derek being your little brother.
Yeah, he's actually older than me, but he's my little brother.
Is he really older than you? I always thought he was your younger brother.
He's 2.5 years older than me.
For years.
And boys are like that. They seem younger than they are. So let's see. Amanda, has this inspired you to continue on your naked ways?
I'm thinking of moving to a naturist colony and just making art all day.
And tattooing all those bodies, right?
Yeah, right?
Funny.
How much more fun would that be to tattoo naked?
It would be crazy.
That sounds like cooking naked. You just shouldn't do it.
It doesn't need to be told right now. So, but yes, it sounds great.
How is it working with a bunch of guys?
$1 million question, Amanda.
Yeah.
You don't want to say anything back because they're listening.
They are all very nice and sweet and caring in their own ways. And I love them. That being said, it's a daily challenge.
So where is FU Tattoos?
We are in Live Oak, so an unincorporated area of Santa Cruz. We are between Midtown and Capitola, 17th and Capitola Road. That's where we are.
All right. And then you have futattoo.blogspot.com.
Yep.
And then you have your own personal website, which I'm assuming has pictures of your paintings? Or?
Yep.
And that's Miss A. Payne, MISSAPAYNE.com. And the Meeting of the Minds is opening Friday, January 6th at 7 p.m. at the Felix Kulpa Gallery. How did this exhibition get started?
A very dear friend of ours works at Streetlight. He's friends with Robbie, and he had approached Robbie about the possibility of us doing an art show there, and we got the okay about last January. I'm not exactly sure the details. I think that's as much as I know.
That you were allowed to find out?
Yeah. Secrets and whatnot, But as far as I know, we just have some really great friends who really care and want us to do well. So, yeah.
And Evie, how did you get involved?
Other
than they needed some public relations.
I heard that they were going to do a show a while back, and I would anything to help the shop, really. I mean, I think that goes for, just like Amanda was saying, how they kind of had friends of the shop kind of put them in the spot to show, because they're such amazing artists, and they're such phenomenal tattoo artists as well. I mean, and this is me speaking, not FU, but I think there's more tattoo shops than taco shops in Santa Cruz. And just because there's that many shops doesn't mean that there's that many great artists. And I think FU is one of the top 2 shops in the county.
Shucks, Evie.
Wouldn't spend my hard-earned money anywhere else.
Excellent. Is spoken by a very satisfied client. FUtattoo.blogspot.com and missapayne.com. Don't miss it. The Felix Kulpa Gallery installation, exhibition, meeting of the minds, where you will be able to see artwork by Derek Pratt, Nick Vargas, Ron Hendricks, Hudge, Amanda Payne. Thank you so much for coming in and hanging. It's been a real wild ride for me this morning. I hope y'all been having a great time, and that post Christmas is going well for y'all.
I'm so glad it's over.
Coming down.
So if you've missed any part of this show, you will be able to find both pictures and here we go, pictures and links, and actually a videotape of us and these 2 beautiful women in the station at artistonart.com. And stay tuned for more fun stuff. We'll see what's going to happen. Bye.
Vida sapiens ta viver, paródia de noite machê, sem macamacu sabura. Vida